You'd be surprised as to just how many things your dog can sense. You've likely heard of how sensitive animals are to their surroundings. Events where an animal could sense death, danger, storms, and sometimes even the paranormal. But how much of this is true, and just what is it your dog can sense? I'm Abby from Watchjojo, and today we're going to dive into all the things your dog can sense. Danger. Dogs are actually highly sensitive towards pheromones which humans cannot perceive. They can sense threats. This was shown in the terrorist attack of 9/11. There were two guide dogs named Salty and Roselle who managed to lead their blind owners down many floors and out the building. During this event, they managed to also lead many other victims to safety in the process. They were actually awarded the Dickin Medal for their bravery and amazing work. It absolutely blew the public away on how a dog could understand so much during such a tragic event. But back to the general sensitivity of danger. Dogs can detect the attention of a person through body language and facial expressions. If a dog is showing a dislike to a person, they're trying to tell you something. That's why dogs are used a lot in crime-stopping situations, such as detecting bombs, drugs, and suspects. It's not only due to their heightened sense of smell. But that actually brings us to our second sensitivity, smell. Dogs have a very high sense of smell, which is what makes them great hunters. It's a no-brainer ability of theirs, as dogs are all descendants of a special prehistoric wolf. As such, they're carnivores, great predators, and are evolved to suit those traits. Bad weather. Dogs are great at detecting storms and all kinds of irregular weather patterns. There's actually a bit of science behind this. Dogs have great hearing and are better at hearing sounds of thunder before we can. But that's not all. Dogs are actually able to sense the barometric pressure drop and any change in the static electric field. Air pressure and electricity are both affected by weather, so it makes sense that a dog would be able to pick up on these patterns. Anyone who's owned a dog before would also be able to confirm that their dog will always try to stay close to their owner before a storm, such as cuddling or hiding underneath you. Sometimes a dog will even shake depending on how severe the storm will be. This can also be affected by the dog's personality. They scare easily, they're more susceptible to shaking. Next up is severe diseases. Your dog can detect low blood pressure and also alarm you about seizures, helping you catch health problems before they get worse. Believe it or not, dogs can even detect cancer way ahead of time, even at stage 0. Studies have shown that cancerous tissue will release a different chemical as opposed to regular tissue, and dogs can detect the difference. Several studies have proven this, but a neat event came from a Labrador Retriever. The Retriever was able to detect colon cancer in different patients with a 90+% accuracy. Lots of different people have come forth supporting this claim. One unique story came from California, where a woman noticed her dog used to lick her right breast. Sure enough, she later went to the doctor where she was diagnosed with breast cancer. This next one has been a theory that has puzzled scientists for a long time. Can dogs sense earthquakes? There's actually no scientific data that has proven dogs to be able to sense earthquakes. That being said, seismologists have speculated that dogs can sense the electrical signal caused by rocks moving underground. This ability goes back to their static electric sensitivity that allows them to sense storms. There was actually an earthquake in Japan in 2011 where people claim to have witnessed strange behavior from dogs and other animals around. Going back to 1975, Chinese citizens were reporting strange behavior from animals before an earthquake occurred in China, killing 2,000 people. Now, what if I told you your dog can sense the supernatural? It's tough to say for certain, as to prove a dog is sensing the supernatural, you have to first prove and believe the supernatural exists. That being said, there's actually a few points to support this claim. If you believe in the supernatural, chances are that you believe in ghost hunters. Ghost hunters use two main sources to try and catch ghosts: infrared light and audio recorders. It's proven that dogs can actually see a bit of infrared light and have a high sensitivity to hearing. There's also been many reoccurrences where dogs started acting strangely in cemeteries, as well as specific locations where people were known to have died. On top of this, there are also many videos on YouTube where people have recorded their dogs reacting in situations where they believe their house is haunted. The last point we have is pregnancy. Even though there's been a lack of study to help prove it, there's also a lot of factors that help it make sense. A lot of it ties to the previous abilities we've talked about: reading human body language, behavior, a change in smell. These are all things that a dog can normally detect, and they just so happen to be changes that occur when a woman gets pregnant. So it makes sense why so many people believe it to be true. So yeah, dogs can sense quite a lot. Definitely be sure to listen to your dog when they're trying to tell you something. Just might save your life one day. What do you think? Do you have any stories of your dog sensing something? Let us know down below. I'm Abby from Watchjojo, and thanks for watching.